Tēnā koutou e tēnei hiahi, and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 3 as the Māori Let's Play series where I start to conquer off whatever planet this is. Ghost people fighting wars against the revolutionary Orisa. That's what's going on. Anyway, I wanted to say that I'm sorry for taking so long with the next episode of this Let's Play series. I just had a lot of stuff going on, including Corona and just people visiting and then giving you more Corona. But yeah, I do intend to finish this series, so don't worry about that. I went too far to back down now. Additionally, I'm also working on a little bit of a video essay kind of a thing on Victoria 3 and interest groups and how that all meshes into, you know, political theory and history. And I'm really excited about it because it became much bigger than I thought it would be. And I'll be talking about the origins of the Industrial Revolution and why interest groups mechanics is amazing for exploring that topic. So that will be all. This is the penultimate episode of the Let's Play series. And without further ado, let's get into it. The next episode, it will be just 6 years, so it will be a bit shorter. So I'll just include a little bit more recent Maori history, and I hope that, you know, the Maori history that I provide will be at least a good introduction into their current situation, as well as just providing some more context about what's happening. And in the future I will still make Let's Plays. This will not be my last series, so don't worry about that. It's just that I want to give more time to work on these long form videos, because I've noticed that when you're making these series, people tend to tether out about the end of the series anyway. So it's kind of nice to just have something bigger to work on as well. But anyway, I don't want to bore you more with this. So let's go back into the game. And we're finally back in Aotearoa, and it's the 20s, the roaring 20s, proving to be a period of high economic growth and territorial growth as well. So we're currently in a bit of a tuffle with Pera. So we'll see how that goes. I would like to very much, let's see, we are, as a matter of fact, at war with them. But I can't seem to find any fronts. What is going on, Perak? Where are you? Zoom to Perak. Yes, hello. So for some reason we can't open a front with them, which is a bug that might be fixed in a new upcoming patch, which probably will be out by the time this comes out. So that's quite unfortunate, but for now we're just gonna have to wait for that bug to be fixed. In the meantime, it seems like we are passively winning. Are we? Yes, we are. So we're just gonna have to wait for that war support to go down. And we also are not spending too much on military, so that does not seem to cause us larger issues at the moment. In the meantime, we should try and improve the port system here in Western Australia. And our social institution has grown a little bit. So we have some problems to fix here, nothing unusual. Now we're making some cars. Meanwhile, Perak is not giving in. So apparently they want to annex Perak. Okay, I'm just gonna let that happen. Okay, there's no war goals that were enforced. Okay, so that's how we resolve a war. You find out that the country that you have been fighting against didn't exist in the first place. But in the meantime, we started making some electric engines, and we're moving on to automobile production. Yes, the automobile will become the new way of moving around, I guess. What do you use the cars for? I don't remember. This is old technology. I think by now everybody should be biking to work. Right, so in some places the steam engine is still a more profitable proposition, but overall it's nice to see that we are kind of picking up our industrial capacity and being able to manufacture cars, as we will need more and more cars. As you can see, electric engines are currently doing much better. So let's just investigate real quickly what's the hurdle here. So it seems like we need more oil. If we had more oil, then we would have an easier time manufacturing the automobile. So how do we obtain this oil? Obviously, we can try and import some, which we will import from a few countries. But then again, we also have our own sources of oil. So let's just look into that as well. What do we have here when it comes to oil? We need to go into resources, and yep, no new rigs can be built. Whaling stations are at maximum capacity, so we'll have to figure something else to build. So looking at goods that are sorely needed right now in our market, we have a huge imbalance for groceries. And that is, I think, because we have a lot of countries in our market. Our market seems to extend all the way here, and there's a lot of people in this area. Obviously, some of them are moving into our country, and the population is growing as fast as you would expect it to. We still need to develop some more food industries just to make sure that we are able to meet the growing demand for the groceries. So that's what we are going to do right now. So I'm just going to... The colonization of Africa is on the way, and it seems like the free states of America are not as free as they want to be, because they're currently colonizing Central Africa, specifically the Congo area, while France has this part. I wonder what's up with the color of France being as it is. Is it because they were a republic and not a... Wow, so they have a female president way after we had one. So just so we know, we're the progressive beacon still. The country ruled by an alliance of rural folk and armed forces, which probably doesn't spell anything good for their subjects here in Africa. South Africa seems to be independent now that England sort of lost almost all of their power in the region. What else is happening here? It seems like Madagascar is still independent. Marina Kingdom doing quite well, as is Zanzibar. Losing that connection with Oman, which now belongs to Austria. Oil rush subsidies. With the groundwork of Eastern New Guinea oil industry complete, its appeal and promise is waning among those seeking to carve out their own fortune. Oh, okay, there's no more immigration attraction to the oil resource. What else do we have here? Chile has taken the south here. Nothing interesting happening here either. Seems to be pretty much the same. As we can see, Cuba has become independent now. And then as we've been overlooking the situation, the global situation, the diplomatic situation in the globe, Beijing has decided that they want to be friends with us. And I will say yes to that, since now we have access to their market and all of the goods that they have access to. And let's see if we can take advantage of that. What do we need right now? Yeah. Okay, well, the good thing about having a trade agreement is that you don't need to pay any tariffs. And I think you don't have any bureaucracy cost either. Although bureaucracy cost is probably not really an issue right now. But as you can see, the lack of tariffs means that we can really import a lot of stuff much cheaper from them. So I will take advantage of that. And we can also export those things. And the economy keeps growing. We're now building quite a few factories. We're trying to improve the level of technology in our industry, but for now we also have to stick to sort of making sure that we have all of the necessary resources to manufacture all that we set out to manufacture, including iron, because we have quite a deficit of iron right now. Wood is always needed as well. So these resources are sort of not present within our market right now. So we'll have to try and invest more and more into manufacturing that ourselves. But otherwise, our economy is doing quite great right now, and we're building quite a lot, so it's going to improve exponentially. Our population has grown over 30 million right now, and we're closing up to that 600 million GDP per capita goal that we have set ourselves. We're also #1 country in terms of both GDP per capita and GDP. Since our infamy has finally fallen to reputable, I'm quite interested in invading Japanese shogunate. I feel like that's the move to make, right? Because they have a huge GDP, huge population. So we could get a lot of different resources from them. What do we have here? We have, they do have industries going on and so on. I wish they would mine their resources so I could buy them. But obviously that's not the case right now. They do even have a gold mine that they're not using. But either way, I would want to make them my puppet. So I think there's nothing stopping us here because all of our allies. Of course, Japanese shogunate, they have quite a large military force, but I don't think that their military force is that formidable, right? irregular infantry. Nothing to worry about at all, so that's not an issue. Right, it will give us 108 infamy as well. Huh. That's a bit of an issue, right? Because that will immediately push us into a pariah. So maybe that's why we shouldn't do that. Because the last time I tried to do something like that, everybody suddenly embargoes you, so you lose all of your trade. And of course, that's not an issue if your market is some other country, but in our case, it's us. So that embargo could destroy our economy and then make us weak, and then everybody will hate us and attack us. So yeah, I'm reluctant to start thinking about maybe Cambodia. No, so it's a British protectorate. All right, we will respect that since the British are our friends. Okay, then what else do we have? Dutch East Indies. That's kind of our territory. Bulungan, advantage of them. Yes, we can. All right, Bulungan puppetry. Let that start. And we're only gonna get like -3 infamy, which is whatever. Oh, immediately the British abandoned their support for us. What is the point of an alliance if that's all it takes for it to break? So yeah, first of all, I'm gonna build a bunch of ports because we have a little bit of a market issue, if you will. Market access is not good right now in some of these places since I've been building all of these factories en masse, and we need to have that infrastructure to move all of those goods. Some of our trading routes are ineffective, so we have to fix that. And unfortunately, we don't have much to replace them with. But luckily, our deal with the Qing helps us import some sugar. Finally have a landing graph, so now naval invasions will be much easier. Speaking of which, yeah, we're still doing this diplomatic play. I haven't forgotten about it. I just got scared suddenly that the war started without me noticing. But I need to activate the conscripts in the Indonesian HQ, so that's here. Oh, listen to that fear. Pasteurization unlocked. So now we can keep milk in the fridge for a long time. Briefly heating milk and juices eliminates disease-carrying bacteria and enzymes, making the products safer to drink, thus prolonging their shelf life. So now we have fridges. So I'm going to put those fridges in all of our production methods. So now that we are introducing conveyor belts to everyone, the prices of electricity have also grown exponentially, which means we should start thinking about expanding our electricity power plants. So that's what we're going to do, just to make sure that we have enough electricity to feed the growing demand. Maybe moving into some coal power plants would be the way to go out of this. So let's see, do we have... Well, the main bottleneck here is our motor industry, so we need to make sure that we're making as many motors as we can. Obviously, some of them are still being built, so we can't really affect that. But yeah, we probably, at the end of the day, will need to expand our motor industries, and hopefully that added efficiency will pay for itself that way. Finally, this war of Revolutionary Karen, which is a cool name for a band, is over. And I say, demands independence. We don't care about that in particular, but we still have a bit of a hole in the budget, of course, that we need to fix. So I'm reducing the welfare payments right now because that's a huge amount of money going off to welfare. Bearing in mind that, of course, the standard of living is slowly decreasing. But also we have a bureaucratic deficit to fix. So yeah, that's kind of where this situation got us into. Now we have a huge problem when it comes to the amount of bureaucracy that we have, and that's from every single institution that we have. So I'm just gonna reduce the colonial institutions since we're not particularly interested in colonizing anything. And we really couldn't if we would want to. So that's just not something that we're going to do. So I'm reducing all of the institutions right now. My dear friends, I think we have a bit of an infrastructure issue here. So moving forward, since we're losing quite a lot of money on construction, we need to be much more austere. So let's make sure that we are having a positive income. And as we do that, let's just build way more infrastructure, because we will need everything here to make sure that the country is running, because as soon as the infrastructure deficit becomes too large, essentially the country might crumble. So I will need to sort of keep expanding all of these railways. Every railway will need to be expanded. I think that in the case of Victoria, it should be enough to switch to electric. It is indeed. And look at that. So actually, we don't need to panic too much. As long as we switch to electric trains, it should be fine. Some expansion is still desirable, obviously. But yeah, as long as it's electric trains, the Aotearoan railway network in West Australia will keep everything in place and everything running. And now the anarchist society has formed as I was optimizing our economy. So what's on the agenda for the anarchist society? They're the intelligentsia. 2 million people voting for the anarchists. 1 million people voting for the fascists. And 313 voting for the social democrats. You know what, fascists? You even lost against the anarchists, and pretty much nobody would ever vote for anarchists, right? Okay, so now the social democrats are sort of scared of the anarchist society, expressing their willingness to offer a more moderate solution to their political extremism. And thank God they do. Or do we want more help for the anarchist society? No, we don't. I think the social democratic model works quite well. Wait, what was that? I helped I think I just helped out the anarchists. I didn't read what I was doing. They're in government as it is. Unsurprisingly, she's romantic. Okay, so our economy is slowly but surely recovering. Making sure that your country is able to afford all of those welfare payments is quite difficult, especially since we have so many unemployed people. I'm very reluctant to build anything anywhere right now, but yeah, we need to put an end to this unemployment. Let's just start building some more industries because, yeah, we don't have any peasants, we just have the unemployed. Some of these industries are very inefficient. We have a bit of an issue with the port here, so we're just gonna downgrade it. Let's expand the railway and let's make it electric. I think actually that should solve our infrastructure problem. Keeping at it, still trying to balance our economy. The Golan Mian, members of the Social Democratic Party, have drawn attention to the right to anarchist. Okay, so yeah, let's just keep the momentum with the Social Democrats for now. I mean, we're all government buddies here, right? The anarchists are in the government with us. Now we have issues here. Open the hearth process can be started here. Plus 25% taxation capacity. Very happy to hear that. I suppose we don't have any more unrealized taxes, which is good. Now we turn to macroeconomics. I'm starting to think that perhaps producing art is the way to go. Our art academies seem to be quite profitable. And now that we're making a bit more money, we can actually start building faster and lowering the taxes slowly. Yeah, the standard of living has fallen a little bit, but we're still number one. That's all that matters, right? We have now reached 630 GDP. And freedom of thought has now been completed. The thought, the world, and the ideal. Those who seek to think boldly and freely are increasingly finding Aotearoa to be one of the safest places to explore their ideas. Indeed, it's an utopia for the modern artist. Is what it is. Open arms. Aotearoa has become world-renowned in the world as a place that welcomes immigrants without discriminating. I'm not sure if that's true, but you know what? It's a safe harbor. Thank you for the prestige. I like that. We probably need prestige more than the population right now, given that we have so many unemployed people. We gotta think about creating some jobs for them. So that's where the art academies come in. We're gonna just spam art academies. I think that's the way to go. And we're making so much money, we can actually start lowering the taxes as we continue to build all of the buildings at top speed. I think that's because we have, investment pool. It's 3.8 million. So by having our social benefits lowered, we have an uptick in radicals, and that's exactly due to decreases in standard of living. Obviously, there was a little bit of a collapse in standard of living, but I still would say that being secure is good enough, so that not should be a problem long term. And as we can see, we are now building more and more tooling workshops, and we're going to keep expanding our industries just to make sure that we have everything we need. Right now, we have a huge deficit for tools. So it's number 2 most effective tooling workshop in the world. That is quite impressive. So let's just keep increasing that. And yeah, I'll try to keep a close eye on the infrastructure and make sure that we do not go overboard. Is this the most effective one? Yes! So the most effective tooling workshop in the world is right here in South Island. right here in Aotearoa. I think we can proceed with the invasion of Bali. So who's gonna help them out? Oh, the East India Company doesn't like us. But this is sort of our turf. Why is that the case? Interesting. Well, the ways of East India Company are unknown, and it's a terrible company, and maybe shouldn't be there, but it does have a stronger military than we do right now, and that's just something that we're going to have to live with. And I just realized that we're spending a lot on this bureaucracy, and we don't really need that much excess bureaucracy. It's not 3.3 construction efficiency. That's not a lot of... Oh, yeah, so that's what... Oh, no. I want to go the opposite way. Yeah. This is more like glass is the most missing good, so we're just gonna pop down quite a few glass factories here just to make sure that none of this balance is in the negative. So compression ignition has been unlocked, so that's diesel engines for you. Now we can use them for motor industries. I do wonder if that actually makes it cheaper to make cars, so let's look into that. Where do we have our motor industries? Here they go. Diesel engines. No, actually it consumes more oil than previously, but less electricity. No, I'm gonna stick to right now. I guess our motor industries are not as efficient as we would like them to be. There's little we can do about it right now, so we're just gonna have to kind of deal with it. Movies, look at that. Oy. Okay, now it dropped. But if we go back to photographic art, okay, so if we had more electricity, we could do it much more. So how about, let's see, right now we're expanding our glass factories, but we also will need some power plants everywhere too, so let's just plop down a couple of power plants. Hopefully soon enough we can involve ourselves in a worthwhile conflict over Burma or something, because I want to take over some country before the game ends. We're edging closer and closer to the end here. It's almost 30, and then we only have, so we have less than 10 years now left. Oh yeah. So yeah, we need to do something interesting. Now the war against Darfurtit has broken out. We probably not going to do anything about it, as I said previously. But we currently have a huge surplus, and I'm thinking that we should put that surplus into construction industries, particularly in those places where we have a lot of unemployment. Well, really not much left to invent when you think about it. Okay, well, I still want to get into a war or two, so let's just do the NCO training, and now let's think about what sort of conflict can we get ourselves into? So the thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade our specialist companies into infiltrators as opposed to machine gunners. And the machine gunner sounds a little bit more exciting. And I believe that that would put us at a level much higher than that of East India Company. Except for now, we're just going to have to wait until we have the equipment adjustment. So we're definitely going to cross that boundary. We're going to be at around 100. So I think that we should simply start causing a little bit of a ruckus here. Stop improving relations, start damaging them. Oh, we're gonna duke it out like Old West style. None of us are actually from Old West, because Old West looks really strange. Okay, there's an American aristocratic revolt. Look at that. America is really a country of contradictions and different things and all that. And definitely not united at the moment. Best of luck to them in resolving their conflicts. Oh, wait, what now? So Equatoria has won the war against Britain? Much respect to Equatoria here. So let's just kind of look into the situation a little bit more. Ah, okay, so they exist. Aha, so it seems like Britain has lost against a decentralized country. Some of them don't even wear clothes. Ah, we can do one against Spain though. Ah, well, I would love that. And what's happening here? Spanish, Philippines... are they communist? Is that what happened there? How does a colony become a communist colony? What is Spain up to? It's a constitutional monarchy, but their colony is communist. So I'm just going to take over from here. Spain, good job so far. We almost have 1 million in profit, so that means we can lower the taxation rate a little bit, maybe even increase the military wages, since we're soon going to end up in a war. It's just good to start saber rattling. So we're just going to recruit some more generals. We need one for Indonesia right now. Oh yeah, he will not command anybody. How many conscripts have we called in? Maybe we should call in more, since I believe Spain is still cocky for some reason. So we just need to, you know... Okay, that's why. They have friends. Well, there's not a lot of front here, so I don't feel like it's going to be a huge problem, but I should probably position my forces in a way that will make sure that they do not just stomp over us. Can we just... Now we have some problems. Partisan papers. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Anarchist Society have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. The Anarchist Society has used papers brilliantly, or the newspaper circulation is through the roof. This is a boom for publishers. Oh, yeah, I like the boom for publishers. Supreme submarines. Our growing use of submarines in warfare has created a new generation of commanders exemplified by the likes of Pakaya Ferofero, who understand the nature of underwater warfare very well. Our submarines will strangle our foes, promote Ferofero's skill as a commander, promote Ferofero's dashing hero of a new age. Convoy raider sounds useful, so I'm just gonna give him that. I wonder how does that add up to 1,000, and why is it not there yet? Military wages are quite high. I suppose it's because we lack the military goods, right? Yeah, we need more. We need more than we have. So I'm just going to start importing those as much as I can. Yeah, so our reinforcements are still on the way, and that is why they're currently winning in this front. And our navy is currently putting a hole in those reinforcements there. But maybe Adamant Sea would be more relevant, since that's how we can cut off their supplies. So I want you to raid these convoys here. In the meantime, perhaps since we're still making a little bit of a profit, maybe we can start expanding our naval bases as well. Seems like, yes, we can actually. They're not doing that well. Here, what we have here right now is this related to the war? Probably not. To have something happen in Canada, not really in a position to care about it. Right, so what's the situation here? Do we have naval supremacy here? Yes, we do. So I do hope that this means that we can somehow cut off their supplies. Now, we do have a third army that we can send to help in here, right? So we're just gonna do that. Otherwise, we have quite a few troops in HQs that are not picked up yet, and I think that we can hire some more generals to arrange that. Numbers are winning, so obviously in terms of defense we're not as good as we would want it to be, but we simply have better numbers in this battle. Seems like Spain is losing more than we are, and hopefully that means that as soon as we have a new navy built, have 8 ships available, I would prefer that to be more. I want to control this here area. This battle we're gonna win, so far looking good. Confident that our navy is stronger than theirs, so we're just gonna send Pakaya Ferofero right into the Bay of... Is that the Bay of Bengal? Yes, of course it is. So far looking good. I'm very positive about this war. So we're not exactly making big bucks here. We're losing 1 million a month. And how much do we have in reserve exactly? 58 million. So we can hold this for 58 weeks. That's not much. That's about a year. Bureaucrats make nothing and taxes are high as hell. And yeah, that should work. Okay, so it all has merged into the same front. And they seem to be not doing as well as they would want to. That's good. So does that mean... Wait, ooh. So their troop morale is 0. Next target supply value is 0. So did we cut off their supplies? Did that work? Guys, get into a battle. Come on. Some sort of matchmaking service that I have to run to make sure that the different opposing navies actually start fighting with each other and not just standing and looking at each other. Sounds like this guy is better for a naval invasion, although none of them are actually that good anyway. Time for some invasion. So we're just gonna drop that invasion right here in the Spanish Philippines Mindanao. And that's going to be Tarata te Ferofero. Wow, the United States, Free States, excuse me, have established a colony in Congo Oriental. So, yeah, they have a huge colony here in Central Africa. That is very strange. But as is everything with the United States in this game. Let's see how the battles are going. So the offense is not going as well as we want to. That's mainly because the East India Company has a very powerful defense. In the meantime, a new front has now opened. Is it? No, it hasn't yet. Oh, we took over this place. Look at that. I don't remember having such a successful naval invasion. So, yeah, now he's escorting convoys, but we're just gonna keep invading everyone. Aha, they're recalling their troops back home, which means this should open up this front for our victory. Yes, but the front is open. Yes, and we're the first ones to be here. Let's see how that goes. I do want to send some more troops here. So we do have armies that are on standby, so I'm just going to send them right here, right now. Well, it seems like our friends at Siak are winning against the Spanish forces, so this occupation should go swiftly. Well, it looks like we finally took over East India, Malaya. That is ours, so that battle has been won, and as a result, a lot of our forces are now being thrown into the Philippines, and we're gonna try to take over Philippines from Spain. Barely winning these battles, and Spain seems to have a much better defense, and we have offense. In order to win this war, we're gonna have to play the supply game, so I'm currently trying to block supplies at this node and at this node, and we're in conflict with East India Company right here. Here we go. The front seems to be stacked in our favor. Oh, but they're not losing, even though they have no morale whatsoever. Is that the case? Yeah, their company morale is 0. We still have some morale going on. So that's quite interesting. We need to at least have somebody being defensive. Well, this guy has a psychological affliction, so, you know, go ahead. Throw your life away at the war battle thing. Because I guess that's what people used to do back in the day, right? And it's February 21st, 1930, and I can already hear the police sirens outside coming to arrest me, so I will have to say that's it for today, and hopefully I'll see you soon, and we can finish Let's Play Aotearoa with the dominance of the Southeast Asia by Aotearoa, a grand and powerful republic, the biggest economy in the world.